Hello and welcome to the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series for your 9th race of the season here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The championship is winding down for this series, and there are 3 favorites to win. Heiden, who's been out front for most of the season. Isaac Sinclair, who's been a runner-up for most of the year, but just hasn't been able to get that victory or that stride to pull ahead of Heiden. And Noah Oscarino, who started out the season slow, but he's picked his way up to the front. But there's a development. We have a double points event for the final race. That means 20 points up for grabs, plus 5 additional points for winning a heat race. So that could change the complexity of the championship picture. Some of these drivers are going to try and race their way in so they can compete for the title come Charlotte. Let's take a look at your starting order for today's event. Noah Oscarino's in a good spot. He's on the pole, ahead of all the trouble as Matt Jewell starts to it outside. Then it's Pericles, York, and many others. If you look through the rest of the field, Heiden is a little further back in the grid. He's going to have a long way to go. We had 22 cars on our entry list, so 2 cars failed to qualify. They were John Gilbert and Paul Thanos. We're green flag racing here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and Matt Jewell did not get a good start, as Oscarino is going to blast past the rest of the field. He is out front, and it looks like he's going to lead lap 1. That will be a bonus point for him. If he can lead the most laps today, that'll get him another bonus point, and that'll help him catch up to Heiden, who is currently outside of the points-paying positions. We see a gaggle of cars battling near the back. Looks like Pericles and Pedro are going to get by. We head to the back and look at where Heiden is. He's just outside that top 10. That's where he needs to be to get some points. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think D'Artagnan may be the driver in the 10th place position. Whoa, look at this. Cars are getting awfully close to that wall. But Heiden's going to need to pick up some spots if he wants to stay in that points lead. Isaac Sinclair is another driver that is trying to work his way into that top 10. He had some trouble in Myrtle Beach last week. Had an issue on the starting grid. So he's going to try his best to work his way up to the front. Nick Pericles in car number 90 is a driver that is helped by the final event being a double points event. He is a mathematical shot to try and compete for the title. Now he's a little bit of a long shot. He wasn't in the series since race 1. But he's had some good finishes and got a win in Seekonk, so he is a driver to look out for when we get to Charlotte. And right now he's running in 2nd place. He is ahead of Heiden, so the further ahead of car number 52 you are, the better, as Heiden's been pretty dominant this year. Alex Pedro in the 36 is trying to battle with him, getting way to the back bumper of his Wilson security machine. Pedro's had some bad luck the past 2 weekends, so hopefully he can get it done today. We go on the front straightaway. We take a look at Gabriel Wanderley, who won last week in Myrtle Beach in dominating fashion in the Rothmans car. He's currently in the 10th place position. He would be getting 1 point, and as you can see behind him, the car directly behind him is the 52 of Heiden. He's got a little bit of ground on him, but Heiden's looking to catch up. Wanderley is riding the high from that win from last weekend, and he's hoping for some good finishes to round out the season. He's not really a championship competitor, hasn't run enough races, but this is looking very impressive for the young Brazilian driver as he looks to run next season. A couple drivers are making their season debut, some of them their series. Georgie Fleming in the 13, Thomas Beattie in the 19, and one driver that failed to qualify was John Gilbert. He was trying to make his debut. Skylar Fleming is running an identical number 13, and we want to take this time to mention that the DASCAR Phillips Cup Series will be here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. They have 2 races to go as well. The main event's going to be later tonight, so be sure to catch that out on the Chasman Dutch channel. So it's going to be an excellent race. I hope to see you there. But right now, the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series is on track, and Fleming not doing the best on track, but he's trying to log some laps, see if he can get a little bit of practice in, see if he can work his way up to the top division, or at least, retain his ride for next season. Oscarino at the halfway point is out front in the Tic Tac machine. But look who's closing in. It's Alex Pedro who was able to make a pass for 2nd place on Nick Pericles. Pedro's got a lot of fire in that 36 machine. He's had a great car 2 weeks in a row, but was taken out due to wrecks both times. And Pedro at Myrtle Beach, I think that's a race he's going to want to forget. Cut a tire early on after getting the pole, and then ended up in a wreck with Christian Mizdrag. But look at that, he's sucked up to the back bumper of car number 500. Can the 36 get by? Oscarino has been doing a great job blocking, and you know, the 500 does have a lot of raw speed in that machine, so he's going to be a formidable opponent. Oscarino rides it high. Pedro not able to capitalize. The only watch machine still trying. This is a good battle up near the front as Pedro and Oscarino starting to pull away from third place Pericles. Now the question for Pedro is, does he want to risk it all for the win, or does he want to save some points, see if he has a chance? I don't think he has a chance for the title, but this is a good position for him, and if something happens to Oscarino, it's a tough call for Pedro. I think Pedro wants to prove that he can win a race and not have those problems, so best of luck for him as he's still trying to chase down the 500. He's using everything he's got, and with this being such a short event, only 25 laps, we only got about 6 to go, and looks like Oscarino is going to keep his cool. He's going to pull out a couple car lengths on the number 36 machine. We head back in the field to Eric Heiden. He has made his way into the top 10. Julian D'Artagnan Jr. got stuck on the outside line, dropped back a few positions. So he's currently in 10th place, which is 1 bonus point toward his championship run. Not the best, especially since Oscarino's not only out front, but he's led the most laps. Sean Angel, the Canadian, made his debut in Seekonk, trying to pass his way into the top 10. Angel's been running a very quiet season in the S&P Racing machine, hoping to maybe get into the limelight later on. He was a former DASCAR Lights competitor, now running in the Regional Pro Cup Series himself, and he's going to slide up the racetrack. I think Heiden's going to be okay. Only a few laps to go. Pedro is back to the back bumper, and look at that, Nick Pericles wants to get in on the action as well. Oscarino has been stationary up front. No one's been able to get by. Oscarino's been blocking both lanes. No one's been able to get any momentum, any way to pass the 500. Lap 24 of 25, final stretch. Pedro trying his best. He just can't get close enough. If he can maybe get underneath there, maybe if he's not above wrecking a driver, he might be able to get by, but Oscarino just won't budge. Final lap. Oscarino in the 500. Can he go to victory lane? He already won earlier this year. Won in Iowa. Can he do it again? Coming to the line. It's all the 500 as Noah Oscarino is going to win here in Bristol. And this is going to work wonders for his championship effort. Pedro, impressive second place. Finally, some good luck for the 36 team. Nick Pericles in the 90. Matt Duell, though he dropped back on the start, still finishes in the top 5, and Adam Dunlap rounds it out. Let's take a look at your final race standings. Oscarino is your winner, followed by Alex Pedro, Pericles, Duell, and Dunlap. Cooper Cyron in the 73, going to have a good effort today. Anthony Lopez in the 09, another solid week. Logan York, Gabriel Wanderley, and Eric Heiden round out the top 10. So impressive effort for those guys, and Eric Heiden does get a point today. Sean Angels in 11th, followed by Georgie Fleming. Julian D'Artagnan Jr. in 13th, followed by Caitlin Stringer and Christian Mizdrag. Isaac Sinclair, a bad run today. This might affect his championship effort. Jerry Guerra, Thomas Beatty, J.J. Hartman, and Chris Dodd. Chris Dodd actually got into the wall a little bit earlier today. Kept on the lead lap, but it's been a rough Regional Pro Cup Series for him. Now here are your point standings. Mathematically, Oscarino, Heiden, Sinclair, Pericles, and Thanos have a shot at the title, but Thanos needs to win the race, essentially. So that is the championship picture for this weekend. Oscarino is your points leader now by just 1 measly point. So this will be an interesting championship battle for sure. Next week, we're going to be going to the Charlotte International Speedway for the final event of the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series and the final race of the DASCAR Phillips Cup Series. So it's going to be an action-packed weekend. We'll hope to see you there for the championship and the heat race format that'll kick it off. From the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series, we sign off.